It's the morning of a huge match, a big race. You didn't sleep that well. Your heart is starting to beat faster. Palms are getting sweaty. You can feel those butterflies flapping around in your stomach. You're anxious. So many thoughts going around in your head. What if I come last? I'm scared of letting the coach down, my parents down. I'm worried I won't know anyone when I arrive. What if everyone thinks I'm rubbish? Will I get dropped if I don't score? I wonder if you've ever felt like this. Well, welcome back to Big Questions. And in this episode, we're asking the question, can God really help me with my anxieties and fears in sport?
You will not see a worse miss than this.
See, it's not just those game day fears which will be gone when the match is over. What about those bigger future fears that keep coming back again and again and again? What if I get a long-term injury? I'm scared my teammates might ask why I go to church. I'm worried I won't make it to the next level on the pathway. Real fears, real anxieties in your sport that affect your performance, affect your relationships with those around you, and stop you fully enjoying and loving the sport that God made you to play. So what does the Bible say about anxiety? Can God help? Does he even care? Well, here are a couple of lines from the New Testament where Peter really helps us understand how to think about anxiety rightly. In his letter, he writes to Christians and says, "Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you." See, the first thing Peter says about what to do with anxiety is not what we might expect. Did you see it at the start? He's just been explaining that God shows favour to the humble rather than those who are proud. And he now says, humble yourselves. Where? Under God's mighty hand. He says, before you try and do anything with your anxiety, stop. Remember who God is and remember who you are. Remember that God is the one who created the world. God is the one who knows all things. God is the one who made you and gave you your gifts and abilities and passion for sport. See, to humble yourself under God's mighty hand means to recognise that you can't handle your fear and anxiety on your own, in your own hands. Now, I wonder, whose hands would you most trust with this tennis racket? My hands, or the hands of the Wimbledon champion? What about this rugby ball? Whose hands would you most trust with this rugby ball? My hands, or the hands of the World Cup winning captain? Of course, you trust the one who has the greatest knowledge, experience, and success, right? The one whose hands are most capable. So instead of leaving your fears in your limited hands, how much better in God's completely capable hands? The hands of the one who made you, knows you, and has the power to help you. Now, if you're anything like me, doing this is really hard. When it comes to my sport and things in life, I want to feel in control. I want to be the one to fix it. So how do we humble ourselves? Well, look at the next part. Cast your anxiety on him, on God. Throw all your fears onto him, not just one or two of them. Throw your whole self onto him. All the questions that go through your head on game day, all the worries about the future. Talk to God about them. Be honest with him about how you feel. Ask for his help to not let them overcome you. Trust him. Now, trusting that God will help you doesn't mean you won't make any mistakes, that you won't get injured, that it won't be hard being the only Christian on the team. There will be disappointments. But it does mean you know that God will help you at just the right time because he knows what's best for you. He is always working for your good and he has promised to be with you through everything. Because how does God feel about you as you wait for that WhatsApp message to tell you if you're selected on Saturday? As you're in the changing room getting kitted up? He cares for you. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. Wait a minute. This is the God we've just described as being all-knowing, almighty, and all-powerful. He cares for me? Yes, he cares for you. He intimately cares about your sport, your life, all of you. Will that be a great comfort and reassurance for you today? Will that encourage you to trust God with your fears? See, he longs for you to experience joy in your sport and in life. Before we go, how do you know if you're letting God take care of your fear? Well, it comes down to prayer. Prayer so often in the Bible is the opposite of worry. But praying can be hard, can't it? See, ignore prayer equals I've got this, my hands. Much prayer equals God's got this, his hands. So whether you're in the off season or the pre-season, at a training session or on the start line of the final, will you pray? Will you thank God that he is God? Will you tell him what you're worried about? Will you ask for his help and know his peace?